welcome to my scrapbook tour, although it's not all in a scrapbook. Some pieces are hung on my wall. This isn't every piece of art I've ever done, it's just the ones that I currently own. So this is the first one I'm showing. It's a bit flawed. It's not great. It was done with water paints, but I still like it. This is another flawed piece. The only reason this one is flawed is because the easel was covering the canvas. Rookie mistake. This is another piece which is not original. I was actually quite stressed one day and I decided to use a painting tutorial, so I copied someone else's piece of work, but I thought it turned out so great that I had to put it on my wall. However, I do not claim that it is my own. I always tell people it's not my own piece of work, even though I did it by hand. It's not mine. This is another piece of my work. This is original. I'm not too proud of it. I don't love it just because the bottom hand isn't great. I mean, look how the thumb connects to the index finger. It's not right. But I liked the idea and I'd been thinking about it for a while. And I still think the top hand turned out pretty. So I still have it hung up because I just try and be as proud of my work as I can be, regardless of how flawed I think it might look. Now, this is a piece that I'm really happy with and proud of. This was completely out of my own imagination. I think I used a reference picture for Saturn and probably the snake, but the idea was my own, and I actually did it for a gift for my ex-boyfriend. I am very happy that I took it back within my possession, because I'm really proud of that one. So this is just a really quick sketch that I did for my boyfriend when we were on FaceTime. I don't really understand what's going on. I just did a half and half to show the different emotions that go on within the both of us and just human beings in general. I really like the one that I did of me, so the girl side that's supposed to represent me, and the side of my face on the right, I think it looks like the character from Scooby-Doo from, is it Zombie Island? I think it's called Zombie Island. It just reminds me of her. So this is a piece I'm really unhappy with. It was supposed to show the struggles that women go through and how strong we are during the menstrual cycle. However, the woman that I painted, it's not good, and I'm really not proud of it. But I keep it nonetheless to learn from it. This one, I think it had potential. The only problem is, you see here, the drawings, I did that with a fine liner, and it said it was waterproof. However, you can see it isn't because it all just sort of bled. Really disappointing. I feel like it had potential. So here's some sketches that I did when I was quite young. I suppose it's fan art. The previous one was a album cover that I just copied. This is a portrait of an artist that I used to love. I think this was supposed to be Ollie Sykes. You'll see a lot of unfinished artwork here. This was supposed to be Taeyong from BTS. Didn't finish it. This I actually had turned into a tattoo. This is not someone famous. Nobody will know this person. But this was my first portrait with charcoal. I didn't particularly like it. This is a very famous person. Some people might recognise. I did this with water paints. This is a self-portrait in a Tim Burton style with water paints again. Now this is a landscape close to a place that I used to live. It was really quite beautiful. I don't think I did it justice, really. This is some random race course. I don't know why I decided to paint that. This is a design that I made from memory. It's supposed to be me and an ex-boyfriend on the beach in Cornwall, England. I do like how this one turned out. Yeah, I think it's quite pretty. Now, here, these are all portraits that I did quite young, I think early teenager. It's all fan art, I think, except for this badger. That is not fan art. That's just some random badger. I actually don't remember drawing that, but I must have done. This is a vocalist from a band that I used to like. I still like them. I think this is Louis from One Direction. These are some YouTubers that I used to watch back in the day, probably like 13-15 years ago now. That's so crazy. I think that's Niall Horan from One Direction. Yeah, so all just a lot of fan art, not brilliant, I'm not gonna lie. It's not great, but it's just sort of doodles, quick sketches that I did as a child. This is when I was like warming up and getting into art. And now this is my most recent doodle book. I haven't drawn in it in a long time, but I actually really like these few drawings here. They're all supposed to represent something to do with feminism, however I was feeling in the moment. This has the evil eye, which I'm a really strong believer in. But yeah, I actually really like what I did with these pieces. I like the colours, I like the style. It's something new. I've never really done that before. I'd always used pencil previously. And this is a paper mache on a canvas, which my friend and I got together to do this one weekend. It was really fun. I'd seen it on Instagram. It was something different to do, however it took a really long time to dry. However, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's just quite annoying because I can't really display it anywhere. It's too heavy to hang up. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of my scrapbook tour, my art tour. I have a lot more art that I haven't shown on my Instagram page, so I will link that below in the description. I think my plans going forward are to do more of the doodles, the colourful feministic ones, and to record the process of making those going forward. So if you'd like to stick around for that, please feel free to hit subscribe. Thank you.